let them down when your team loses. I thought the last 2 minutes of the game, they got a lot of great bounces. They had some great execution. We had a tough time guarding them off the bounce a little bit, and they were able to make the last good play. It's unfortunate we came up short. Your heart bleeds for your kids, but that's the league that we're in, man. We're in a really, really tough league. You can't take any game for granted, and you got to capitalize when you have opportunities. I thought we blew a lot of opportunities with missed free throws. A really, really bad turnover late in the game. Hopefully I can do a better job getting our kids more prepared in late game situations with this young group. But hey, you got to credit St. John's. They came into a really hostile situation, really, really tough place to play, and they came out with a win. So as much as I hate to say it, they did the right things to win the game. Very, very, very upset at this loss.
Yeah, more disappointed. You gave up 46 points in the first half. That kind of set a bad tone.
I mean, we gave up 91 points. I don't know if we've given up 91 points in the times that I've been here. We didn't guard. I mean, you shoot 62% and lose a game at home. That's hard to swallow. It's really hard to swallow. But you got to be a leader with your guys. You can be upset, you can be disturbed, but there's another game to be played on Saturday. And the players that take care of leadership, you got to do a really good job being a good leader, being a good motivator, being a good educator, and getting them to try to move past this tough loss. We got a tough game against Marquette on Saturday.
Ed, did the foul trouble with Jalen and Emmett in the first half kind of alter anything?
Well, I thought we weathered the foul trouble. I really did. I thought we came out at halftime, and I thought the adjustment we made was pretty decent. I don't think it played a major factor because once we got going, I thought it played pretty well. Emmett a little, but I mean, it didn't come down to that. It came down to making a play at the right time. We just didn't make the right play.
Did Conroy just lose it in the corner there, or?
No, I mean, again, that's a 50-50 call. That's a 50-50 call. I think we have the best officials in the country. Again, you never, as a player, as a coach, as a fan, never want to make a decision somebody else's. You have to make the decision. So, whatever the last play was, it was.
Was starting relief an attempt to keep Emmett out of early foul trouble?
A little bit more size in front of the rim, a little bit more, give him some experience, trying to build him up. And it just, turned the ball over. It wasn't Khalif. I was going on short.
Were more of the turnovers in the early going your fault, or was more what they were doing?
No, it was all 1,000% what we were trying to do. It had nothing to do with St. John's. We threw the ball out of bounds. We had the ball, we threw it away. It had nothing to do with anything. We're trying to go too fast or trying to thread the needle a little bit too much. That really, I thought that was more our mistakes than what St. John's did. Take nothing away from St. John's. They earned an unbelievable win on the road. They did a really, really good job and give them a lot of credit. I'm just more frustrated and bothered by how we executed.
How tough is it to defend those guards when they shoot the way they did in the first half?
Yeah, they're very good players. They're very good. I mean, they had, two of the younger players in our league that, should be all conference players when it's their time. They carry a big load for them. And when they play like that, they're going to be tough to beat. When they're making shots like that, runners, drivers, floaters, when the basketball is like an ocean, they're going to be a tough out. Give them credit. They made some tough shots, timely tough shots too.
What was your message to the guys at halftime, roughly?
How much I love them. How much I think we're better than that. I thought we could play a little bit harder, a little bit more focused, concentrate a little bit more. Same thing we told them at the end of the game. It's not the end of the world. We feel like it is, but there's still 9 games left to play in the league, of which 5 of them are going to come through this building. And I'm excited that they, about the round robin. Got to stay positive in these situations. It's easy to beat the players up. It's easy to point the fingers. The finger's right here. I got to do a better job. It all starts and ends with my leadership, and I got to do a better job with it.
Does Marquette's win this week? Obviously, you have them next. Does that sort of prove that anybody can beat anybody on the other end?
Sure. Guys, we play in a really, really hard league, and all of us coaches think we play in the best league in the country. I think it's proven that ours is competitive, if not the most competitive in all of America. And you can't take any night out. Today's a classic example. Last night was a classic example. You look around the country, and you get a lot of teams going down. Every game's a battle, and the closer you get to the finish line, the more you don't want to lose. You hopefully continue to improve. I did think we got better today. I thought we did some things in the game where we improved. So I'll take the positives out of this. This is my loss, and again, like I told you, I'll always take accountability for what happens.
I'll ask you about a positive I thought from the first half. Malik White.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think,
I
obviously
thought
with
Malik came on, I thought he made some good shots. I thought offensively he played well. Defensively, we're still going to improve. I don't think defensively as a group we played well at all today. It was a really, really bad performance defensively.
Did you try to mix things up to try to find?
Try to do everything.
Yeah.
We would have put you out there if you had a suit on.